This video is over function notation practice problems. For number 1, you have the problem f of 2 if f of x equals x plus 4. So when we're solving function notation problems, we take the number in parentheses, 2, and we plug it in for the x value in the problem. So instead of x plus 4, we do 2 plus 4. 2 plus 4 is equal to 6, which would be our final answer. For number 2, we have the problem f of 9 if f of x equals x minus 8. Again, take the number in parentheses, 9, plug it in for x. So instead of x minus 8, we have the problem 9 minus 8. 9 minus 8 would give us an answer of 1. For number 3, we have the equation f of 3 if f of x equals 2x plus 3. Now, because the 2 and the x are side by side in this problem, it means multiply. So we would multiply the 2 and x, the 2 and the 3 that's in parentheses. The plus 2 stays the same. 2 times 3 would give us 6, and 6 plus the 2 would give us an answer of 8. For number 4, we have the equation f of 6 if f of x equals 2x minus 5. Because the 2 and the x are side by side, that means multiply. So we're going to multiply 2 times x, which is our number in parentheses, 2 times the 6. The minus 5 stays the same. 2 times 6 would give us 12, and then 12 minus 5 would give us 7. For number 5, we have the problem f of negative 7 if f of x equals 3x plus 6. Again, the 3 and the x side by side means multiply, so we would multiply the 3 and the x, which is negative 7, because that's the number in parentheses. So 3 times negative 7, and then the plus 6 stays the same. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. Negative 21 plus 6 is going to give us an answer of negative 15. For number 6, we have the problem f of 8 if f of x equals 3x minus 10. Again, the 3 and the x side by side means multiply. So when we multiply 3 and x, we're going to use the number in parentheses 8. 3 times 8, and then the minus 10 stays the same. 3 times 8 is going to give us 24. 24 minus the 10 would give us an answer of 14. Number 7 is f of negative 5 if f of x equals 4x plus 2. The 4 and the x side by side means multiply. So when we do 4 times x, we use the number in parentheses, negative 5. So 4 times negative 5. The plus 2 stays the same. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times negative 5 would give us a negative 20. Negative 20 plus 2 is going to give us negative 18 as our final answer. For number 8, we have f of negative 3 if f of x equals negative 4x minus 4. The negative 4x side by side means multiply, so we're going to multiply the negative 4 by the x value, which in parentheses is negative 3. The minus 4 at the back stays the same. Now 4 times 3 is 12. And then we have a negative 4 and a negative 3. Two negatives make a positive. So we have a positive 12 minus the 4. 12 minus 4 is going to give us an answer of 8. For number 9, we have the problem f of negative 4 if f of x equals negative 5x minus 3. The negative 5 and the x side by side means multiply. So we multiply the negative 5 times the x value, which in parentheses is negative 4. The minus 3 stays the same at the back. Now 5 times 4 is 20. Negative 5 and negative 4, two negatives would make a positive 20. 20 minus the 3 would give us an answer of 17. For number 10, we have a table. In the table, we always use the numbers negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 1 unless otherwise specified. We use the equation that's in the middle, in this case, x plus 7, to set up our problem. So instead of x, we're going to use all of the values on the side. So instead of x plus 7, we're going to do negative 2 plus 7, and then negative 1 plus 7, 0 plus 7, 1 plus 7. We set up the problem. The answers go in the f of x column. Sometimes you'll see this called the y column. So negative 2 plus 7 is going to give us 5. Negative 1 plus 7 is going to give us 6. 0 plus 7 is 7, and 1 plus 7 is 8. You should notice there's a pattern to these answers, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There will always be a pattern. There's always a pattern in the answers. So if you do not have a pattern in your answers, it means you've done something wrong. For number 11, we have the equation x minus 13. So we're going to set up the problem the same way. Instead of using x, we're going to use all of the x values. Negative 2 minus 13, negative 1 minus 13, 0 minus 13, and 1 minus 13. Negative 2 minus 13 is going to give us negative 15. Negative 1 minus 13 is negative 14. 0 minus 13 is negative 13. 1 minus 13 is negative 12. Again, negative 15, 14, 13, and 12, there is a pattern, so we know that those are the correct answers. For number 12, we have the equation 2x plus 8. Just like before, the 2 and the x side by side means multiply. So we're going to multiply the 2 times the negative 2, and the plus 8 stays the same. We would multiply the 2 times the negative 1, and the plus 8 stays the same. 2 times 0, and the plus 8 at the end, and 2 times 1, and the plus 8 at the end. So when we solve it, 2 times negative 2 would give us a negative 4. Negative 4 plus 8 would give us a positive 4. For the next one, 2 times negative 1 would give us a negative 2. Negative 2 plus 8 would give us 6. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 8 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 8 is 10. And there is a pattern to our answers, 4, 6, 8, 10, or jumping by 2s. For number 13, we take our 2x because we're multiplying, and we set up our multiplication problem of 2 times negative 2, and the minus 3 stays at the back. We have 2 times the negative 1 with the minus 3 at the back. 2 times 0, and then the minus 3 at the back. And 2 times 1 with the minus 3 at the back. Solve each row independently. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 minus 3 is negative 7. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. 2 times 0 is 0. Minus 3 is going to give us a negative 3. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. For number 14, we have the equation 3x plus 4. The 3 and the x side by side means multiply, so set up your multiplication problem. 3 times negative 2, and the plus 4 at the back. 3 times negative 1 with plus 4 at the back. 3 times 0 with plus 4 at the back. And then 3 times 1 with plus 4 at the back. Solve each problem independently. 3 times 2 is 6, but 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 4 is 1. 3 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. For number 15, we have the equation 7 minus 3x. Even though this problem is written backwards, the 3 and the x side by side still means multiply. However, when we write our problem, the 7 and the minus have to stay in the front. The 3 is still being multiplied by our x values, negative 2, as well as multiplying by negative 1, multiplying by 0, and multiplying by 1. Make sure everything stays the same in the problem. The 7 is in the front at the start of the problem, so it stays in the front for all of our problems. When we're solving our problem, 7 is going to stay in the front because that part is separate from the parentheses. You can think of this minus 3 as a negative 3. So negative 3 times negative 2, two negatives make a positive 6. 7 plus 6 is 13. Same thing with the next one. The negative 3 times the negative 1. Two negatives make a positive. 7 plus 3 is 10. The negative 3 times 0 would just be 0. 7 plus 0 is 7. The negative 3 times 1 is just negative 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. For number 16, we have the equation 4x plus 5. The 4 and the x side by side means multiply. So we multiply the 4 by the x values negative 2 with the plus 5 at the back. 4 times negative 1 with plus 5 at the back. 4 times 0 with plus 5 at the end. And 4 times 1, again with the plus 5 at the end. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So negative 8 plus 5. Negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. 4 times 1 is 4, but 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 5 is a positive 1. 4 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 5, this gives us 5. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. For number 17, we have the equation 1 minus 4x. Even though this problem is written backwards, the 4 and the x still mean multiply. However, the 1 and the minus have to stay in the front. So when we write it, we can write it as 1 minus 4 times negative 2. 1 minus 4 times negative 1. Everything has to stay in the same order. 1 minus 4 times 0 and 1 minus 4 times 1. Because the 1 stays in the front of the equation, it has to stay in the front of our problem. When we are solving the problem, the 1 stays in the front. You can think of the minus 4 as a negative 4. So negative 4 times negative 2. Two negatives make a positive 8. 1 plus 8 is 9. Negative 4 times negative 1. Again, two negatives make a positive. 1 and 4 is 4. 1 plus 4 gives us 5. Negative 4 times 0 is just 0. 1 plus 0 is 1. Negative 4 times 1 is going to stay a negative 4. Negative 1 minus 4 gives us a negative 3. For our last problem, we have 6x minus 2. The 6 and the x side by side means multiply. So we multiply our 6 by each of our x values, negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 1. The negative 2 or the minus 2 stays at the back of each of our problems. So 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. Negative 12 minus 2 is negative 14. 6 times 1 is 6, but 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. Negative 6 minus 2 is going to give us negative 8. 6 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 minus 2 is 4.